And gentlemen, welcome. You are watching Conquest Stringesports Showdown Southeast Asia. Brought to you by Showdown and HighIQ and sponsored by String Metaverse. We are back again, ladies and gentlemen, and this time it's going to be the second semi-finals. We've already got the teams in front of us. Firedup Gaming taking on Rush P as Firedup are going to start on the CT side, and they are going to start with the member down on the feed. But Pawn is able to answer back right away in an instant, though, only to be taken down by Prime all the way down in underpass. But still, there's some place towards the arches. I haven't really checked that. Excite. It's going to hold that place down. Answers to the members of Rush P quickly, and Nikes with this look. Oh my goodness, Nikes, no, please, no, nah. Hello, check. You did not just do that. It's absolutely fine. Prime will still not be able to survive out there. Nikes firms that pick. It's just a couple of pixels visible to him, so it's absolutely cool. But with that fiery start, have Firedup Gaming quickly taking that first round. Rush P on the other side. We have known this team to be having a couple of inputs and at the same time perform absolutely nightmaric for their opponents. That's how good this team is, and this is the reason Prime starts things off with a Deagle, opens up the skull of Excite. This is absolutely nasty crosshair, my guy. Absolutely nasty, but Pawn is quickly able to shut down any kind of push out there from under the back of it now. Can probably try maybe going for the retake. Still gonna hold it down though, Prime. Lovely with that first shot. Tries to catch the second. He will get it. A nasty play. And a round stolen away. That is a phenomenal performance. Firedup Gaming. They were so ready to take that fight over towards the A side, but still could not close it out. This time around, though, a fight out there in mid, though maybe missed out that Molly lineup. It needed to go inside the sniper's nest, but fell down. Nikkei wanted to play ahead of that flash, is able to get one, but Aki is quick on that trigger to go in for the trade, but a nasty shot element in Excite. Binding their weapons to take Light down. And with that, they're going to get the weapon upgrade as well. Champ answers back to one, but Excite is eventually taken down to Element X with the update out in the hand. Upgrade rather. The AK-47. Darky. Towards Cat. Checks out towards the connector. There's no one there. Now can eventually go and reposition. But look at the position of Element X all the way towards Spawn. Should be able to take him down. Sees him. And decides not to give him the 1v1. Okay, tried to take that fight. Tried to win that fight. Now it's Pawn now probably. It's going to be facing him in an off angle. You do not expect Pawn to be here. It's about time. Goes in for the peak. Oh my god, hold on a second. Pawn eventually missed him. Darky has made that cross. Hitting it probably find Element XF in case he pushes out. That is absolutely insane. But can Darky do something about it? He goes in for the plant. And Element X sees him, shuts down his hopes. Good round indeed. Back of it now again. Long range fight being taken, being won. Prime Singapore. Working in unison though. Element X answers back on the other side. Prime eventually took Singapore down as well, so he himself is left down to 1 HP. That's a bit of a bummer out there, but hopefully It's not going to cause them big problems. Prime, only 1 HP in his hand. Not the best one out there, though, but still, Element is able to take down Antivirus. Up close and personal is where Darky is. Right? Where's the Tetris 2? Can move forward. Maybe can catch a timing. Holy smoke! He found a glimpse. Should be able to take down Excite, and he does. Element X has given out the foots. He's given the drop sound down to 13 HP. Darky knows that, and Darky will take that fight to him. Down to a 2v1 scenario. Prime and Darky should double up at this point. I was going to go in for the bomb plant as well while Darky clears out. Jungle confirms that there's no one. Champ finds the isolated duel, is able to take that down, sends out a frag as well, anticipates where he's going to be and jumps out, flies like an eagle. Champ with the SMG is able to get that down and win the round out for his team just when we thought maybe Rush P could equalize the scoreline. Fired Up Gaming fires up on all cylinders. Smoke in nest. Element X on an off angle, boosted up. It's the case to find the first one, but Prime is able to answer back very quickly, and the smoke is still blocking his vision, but not so much as Nikesh still finds the small angle. He's able to take one more down. The Molly's going to go in. Finally, he will fall on the back of it, but not before Pawn finds an answer himself and make it 2 as well. Controls the connector. Now it's down to a 1v3, and that ain't happening. On gets another a 3k in this round. Make sure his team is up 4-1. Nasty shot. Darky's still able to get one. But Pawn is able to do the damage control on the back of the flash. Singapore is only good for one. Pretty simple round this time around for Fired Up Gaming. It was a simple A execute. They were able to read that perfectly. Answered that as well. Very simple, straightforward one. Fired Up. They are now taking the lead away. This round becomes one of the most crucial rounds for Rush B now, because they are investing in that AWP. Also got a few AKs in the hands. And if they do not win this round, then the next one is going to be very difficult for them to pull back up. Flash being sent out. No one playing in towards Cat. Molotov to try and slow things down there. Only a little bit. Still trying to hold down mid. Connector. Lovely angle found by Prime. Nikesh not able to land in the off shot. And Clyde as well doubles up on the back of it. He's able to get one more Element X on a very quick flank, but it indeed is not as quick as they expected it to be, as Prime answers back quickly. Champ for the trade too on Clyde, as he wanted to go for a bit more exploration towards the CT. Eventually taken down, but for main control being taken this time. Vaughn has found an angle, fires a few shots, misses out on the first chance, but gets another chance. Champ as well through jungle. He knows there's someone at the connector and he lands the shot perfectly, aligns it beautifully. And in an instant, it's down to just antivirus. Goes in for one, sends out a flash. No time remaining. Diffuse kit is there. Got to stick down for it, but antivirus shows up on time. He will be taken down as well by the explosion. That means at least the economy is going to be kept in check for Rush B. So that's the only silver lining for Firedup. But a very nice round from Rush B. Finally taking control of the mid. And slowly, they were able to walk forward, take all of that space, get a few early openers as well by putting their players in the position where they will have the advantage. Specifically, Clyde, when he found that first opener onto Nikes. And if that keeps on happening, it's going to be very problematic for Firedup Gaming to deal with. The tactical timeout is over. 5-2. Maybe Firedup Gaming this time discussed to change a few strategies of their own, maybe to work themselves on down towards the mid. And that's what they are the ones this time walking up. But on site, in hell, there's a big problem for Excite. And that problem is going to reveal itself finally in the form of Clyde as antivirus doubles it up as well. And a lovely Molotov. Pushing down Liniment takes back and he watches jungle. He wins the fight in jungle. Antivirus just obliterating every single one of the CTs there. Antivirus was working more like a virus this time around. It's all down to the spawn. Better be saving that weapon now. Don't have money in the bank and this mid exploration did not work out perfectly. And it's Singapore to win this one out. And that crosshair is absolutely nasty. My goodness. It's such a silly crosshair which I've never seen. But it tends to work so very well. Right now, another mid control. Pushing all the way out on this time around though. Those pistols. Wanted to go in for the fight and Darky as well. Giving him a fight with his own pistol because he had the AWP in the hand. On board a no scope from Pawn. Expects Clyde to be there. Lands in that nasty one. Prime as well, able to not just answer one, but rather two with the AK. Champ finally should get that trade on the other side as Pawn lands another onto Singapore. With just that one AWP that he was able to steal away from Darky. Pawn almost single-handedly converted the round. What a way to maintain the lead and at least get 6 in the round. For Util being thrown out, finally no one peeking out in mid, expecting the AWP to be there. Aki's going in with another investment of the off out there. He gets the first one onto Pawn. Again, Singapore. So to land in that shot. Bit of a wide peek out there, Prime. So to answer Champ. He did not expect, and Darky. Amazing on that trigger. That's such a fast push all the way towards the mid and then going for a wide split. Should be able to get the plant down as well as Darky finds Excite in the meantime. Good amount of dollars being gained after that previous round in their bank account and looking pretty healthy. Considering how Antivirus and Clyde are going for the SMGs, even though Darky actually has the money in his bank, Seems like they would want to go for a very fast pacey hit, maybe a set play. Couple of utils being thrown down mid. Molotov already being thrown out as well, but there we go. Antivirus wins the fight in under. On's been taken down. The extra shots being fired as well. The AWP in the hand. Unfortunate for Darky. It's a wall bang as Elementex. He utilizes that chance. Only able to get one though as Clyde finally answers back on the other side. The SMG working out perfectly for them. Expects a player to be there inside. Almost able to take him down though, but Clyde still very sleeky. Gets not just one but rather two. Damn. Hit. Stops and gets Champ out of the round. Impeccable. Getting all the way ready yet again though. Alright. First shot, Darky. Not being able to land that one. But the second one just pops in front of him. It's ready to get the third as well, but Darky with the deagle. Want to make sure that this half stays competitive, and that surely will happen. A 1v3 into the making. Maybe Elementex can do something, but Prime says no, it ain't happening. A 6-6 half by both the teams. Rush now. On the CT side, while Firedup Gaming on the T side, quietly walking all the way down from the alley towards the CT ups. And Antivirus is the one who's jump picking that angle. Finally, sees a lot of pressure hopping towards him, going in all the way out. Singapore left alone out there. Case able to take him down. Darky answers back all the way on the other part of the map though, and still it's a back and forth. Darky from the market will get to Clyde to peek out through the smoke. Not really the best option, is it? Eh? On is just ready for that. B03, Darky and Prime. Bond wants to go for a bit of an exploration out there. My guy just does not anticipate Darky to be there. Still, Excite is able to get one. One is going to be traded though, but it's a 1v3. It's got the defusal kit, so that's a good thing. Going for the first tap. Always almost time. Fake, and that's the RNG. Shots were landed as well on the guy. No tap now. No time as well to go for any kind of tap. Champ gets the shot. They'll both be taken out. But it matters less as the round still goes for them. Seven to 6. Firedup Gaming having that advantage now. The weapon as well in this one. Galil's in the mix. Off angle being held by Antivirus. Maybe we can try and find an opportunity, but it seems pretty less though. Yep, everyone being taken down, and all the way from back is where Darky wanted to go out. He is out of the round. It's all down to just Prime, a 1v5. If he makes this, then his team is absolutely demolishing everyone from Firedup Gaming. There seems to be less of a chance out there. My goodness, Nikesh. Even flying like the Lucifer. Hunts him down. Takes him out. 8 and 6. But this is going to be one of the main rifle rounds, though. Rushby got all the weaponries that they need. All 5 rifles on board, all the M4s. There's the Molly. Try and slow down the push, but it's yet again another apartment push. This is the third round where Firedup Gaming are constantly pushing the apps. Arches this time being controlled by Clyde. That's a crucial one because he just gets not one but rather two. And doubles up as well on the back of it. Every single one of the CT are there and burnt alive, exiled by antivirus. This apartment push has been crushed in an instant. The adjustment of Rushby impeccable in this rifle round, and anticipating another apartment push is what was needed. They sent out one towards the arches while antivirus was holding down the drop. Perfect play. And it seems like Firedup Gaming, since it was their bonus round, they don't really care about it that much now. Want to play a bit slow. Excite is still sitting in spawn. He's ready to throw a lineup out there. Re-smoking down the catwalk. On the back of the flash now. Prime wanted to peek, and he is going to be punished on the back of it. Anti-flash being played by Firedup Gaming, and now they're going to send out their own utils. I don't really see a good positioning for Clyde as well. I don't see him surviving out here. Nikesh gets one. Hyde, good for the answer. Is able to catch one though. Maybe catch the second. He absolutely will. Tries to turn around to get third. But Pawn will shut him down. But the damage has been done. Pawn is only down to just 12 HP. They had a free B side. But again, this is me having that information. Firedup Gaming now slow walking. If they're going from the palace, they will get a timing on Singapore. He just reclears that space. And they think that there's absolutely no one. That's why antivirus is being sent out over towards the B side. There is a big opportunity for Firedup Gaming to get this round. Champ and Pawn in a 2v1 against Singapore. And Singapore has been struggling. He's going 5 and 11. Bomb's going to go down, so Champ is going to have that heaven angle. Singapore still catches one. Pawn is out of the mix. And Champ down to 68 HP. He was watching the right place. Now, again, his crosshair back at the correct one. The reposition is just so brilliant. Their antivirus does not expect that. And Firedup Gaming are looking fired up. The 2v1 into the making was picture perfect. The call absolutely on point. We're going to go for their exact same play yet again, this time sending a bit of an extra body towards the apartments. Rushby with their own default setup. But look at that. Look at antivirus. He's just playing into the hands of Firedup Gaming probably. And get all the way down. Maybe we're going to have a tech issue, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of pause out there. And we're going to be fixing it very quickly. Seems like the production team has had some salary upgrades, people, because they fixed the issue way too quickly, just like that. Almost seemed like forwarding a few things, and we're back again into the action. Rush B. Firedup Gaming in front of them right now. The defensive setup. Where's the connector though? Already seen once. It's got to run back all the way out. Clyde through the arches. Burns them down, deletes them out of the map. Gets the third one as well. Maybe he can get an ace out with the 4K. It is absolutely mind-blowing from him. And just like that, he almost pulled it out from the brink though, but Excite, he's been seen, he's been spotted, and he's been sent back. Clyde and his last stand is... You can't really make this thing up. That guy turned 180. To try and shut the others down. Brilliant performance. It's going 9 and... rather 10 and 12 before that one. Tech 9's now in the hands of Firedup Gaming, and they are walking the apartment yet again. And guess in which round Rushby decided to not look at the apartments. Clyde again tries to hold the angle down. Arches almost able to take one down too. Or rather two in that regards. Prime supporting him perfectly. And Firedup Gaming playing it to utmost perfection. Lovely trading as well. An almost flawless round with them only losing Darky. It was an impeccable round. Not giving away too many of the problems out there. Another small issue that we're facing. Don't worry, people. We'll be fixing that one quickly as well. You already know how fast that works. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be fixing that issue and we'll be right back. As I said, seems like there's been a big upgrade out here again. Issues being fixed out way too quickly. Rush B, Firedup Gaming 9-9. Everything equal. It's going to be a full-fledged push down towards the A side. An A split down there from the Palace as well, but Excite is there for the answer. Element doubles up with him as well. Darky with the readjustment is absolutely nasty. Brings it down to a 1v1 now with Elementex finally shutting him down, but the second pick was illegal. And now Clyde has crossed Elementex, did not realize that he passed through the jungle. That's such a lovely call from him. And he goes all the way towards the CT spawn as well. The timing! Clyde! Did he see Elementex is the big question. I don't think so he did. Can's gonna go down, so we have seen Clyde in a scenario where he got a 1v4 through the arches. But will he anticipate this reposition? Normally you don't play so up close in an off angle. Elementex is able to surprise Clyde and put his team up in lead. It was a crucial round as well, because if they would have lost this one, then that means in the next round they would not have had the economy to go for a buy. But this time they do. Couple of SMGs on the other side though, Rush B. Seems like they're the ones who are left. Questions around. You look at most of these rounds that either of these teams have won, it's again very close. It's not like a very convincing round win from either of these teams. They have been so close almost all the way every single time down to the last 1v1. This could really go anywhere. So yeah, they are pretty matched up, and for some reason, I'm getting a feeling that we might actually see an OT if things go in the similar manner. For now, execute over towards the side. Excite, fully blinded, still catches one, but an answer back from Prime through Tetris will be taken care of. It was a one at an angle, and he only gets one. A 4v3 into the making. While all the avenues are watched out for, but all right, it's about timing. Right, it's going to be pushed out from that place, smoked off perfectly towards stairs. Couple of players all the way towards CT, and a fight is broken, and a fight is won. The case takes down Pawn, but that should not matter a lot. It's all down to just Clyde in a 1v3. He's got no clue about the player towards the palace. And a player up close. He catches one, but Champ peeks in at the perfect time. Good trades coming in. And it's an 11 on board. And this has broken the buy of Rush B entirely. Firedup Gaming are looking in prime position to take this one map. A couple of Eagles into the mix. Maybe they can do something. Try him in a nasty off angle. Huh. Not the kind of molly you were expecting, but alright. City's been smoked off for now, rather cat. There's going to be a re-smoke coming in towards the Archer's link as well. Lovely Molotov to try and flush out a player from there. It's going to be forced back. But the pressure is going to remain on this part of the map. In the meantime, Elementex can have his own time as he's worked all the way towards the palace and now can probably catch someone on the site. They can definitely go for a ace split, which they are going right now. It's only Pawn who's actually standing in mid, and he's going to cut off any rotations that are going to come from there. So it's about timing. Singapore now moves up. Deagle shot. Perfect. Connected one. Excite answers back on site. That was not supposed to rhyme, but it still did. They've got a good amount of control out here, down to a 4v4. No weaponries. Rush B with all pistols. But they have got 3 different avenues to try and retake this from. But I like the idea from Firedup Gaming. They want to take these long-range fights. So moving all the way back, and Excite and Pawn answer back in unison. Seems like all hopes are being lost for Rush B, as Prime is the only man who found some success. But a 1v3 is too much to ask for. He's going to try and go for the save, but Pawn is not going to allow him that either. Ready towards the CT. It's able to take that one. And it's a 12-9. Let's say an OT, but it seems like might actually go out of hand of Rush B. I have to see though. If you ask for my prediction, I still feel that there might be a chance. At least I do want to see that, and Prime is creating exactly that. Opener up towards mid. And now a chance to maybe convert this 4v5. And in the last few rounds, Elementex has been moving out from here. And this is an anti-Elementex setup up. Rush B towards the A side. Shut down that lurk play. And we've seen another one out here. They will be pulling Firedup Gaming out of the A side. Now that means there's only one place where they can go. That would be either walk all the way up from mid and basically land in a crossfire between Hyde and Prime, or move from the apps and try and take some space where towards the B side there are already a couple of players we can see. Rush are looking in a prime position, and it seems like they want to get the win, but Champ and Nikes answering back perfectly. It's Excite and Champ, the last two players standing, AKs in the hands. But Antivirus also has had an upgrade here. So there's a possibility on Jungle. Antivirus, he was ahead of the curve, was able to take one, and it's the second as well. Rush be surviving by the skin of their teeth. But what matters is the round win, and not by the means. Another tech pause being thrown out here. At 10-12, that's the main thing. But don't worry about it, people. Just as we mentioned previously, we're going to be fixing it very quickly. Uh-huh. 10-12. Firedup, two more chances to close this one out, and they started their half with the apartment hits, and they actually worked out a couple of times, but we have not really seen that happen for the past few rounds. So this time they do want to change a few things. They want to switch up the pace and take some of the space all the way down from the underpass in mid. Maybe to catch a couple of players from Connector and Prime. Bringing in a lot of noise out there. They see the first head, and it's Clyde who's fallen down. That's a big thing. But this hole towards the nest, this needs to be big. Singapore able to take that space at least for now. Keep it and hold it down. Not a ton of utilities right now left in the hands of Fired Up Gaming. That could be a big blow, and that could be a big blunder. They have to try a walk on every avenue, and all of them are controlled by Rush B. They hold it all down. And on the back of it, they will win another round. And this one was a very convincing one. It's something that I was genuinely expecting, but this one's going to be a tactical timeout, people. So this is not a technical pause. This is a tactical pause. Fired Up Gaming are going to discuss now probably one set play with which they can maybe end this round, win this entirely. But they do not have the economy to do that. Look at that. There's a couple of Tech 9s in the mix. Excite with just a pistol. Nikes and Elementex, the only two players who've actually got some rifles. And the fun fact is, Pawn is the one who's been getting a lot of success, 22 in 17. And yet, he's on a Tech 9. This could be a mistake because you would want your player in form to have the best weaponry in hand to try and make something. Try and find the needle from the haystack. But it seems like there's not oxygen in the wind. There's only carbon dioxide. So Fired Up Gaming are eventually losing their flames. And Rush B are extinguishing them perfectly. The setup looks to do the exact same thing though, but there's a big opening in mid. Fired Up Gaming, they've got the jungle control. And they can go for a very solid ace split. They've got only 2 flashes to work with and a Molotov. So it's a hit or miss. It's either this or it's not happening. And the time is ticking. They might lose the time because Clyde has started to rotate all the way up. Singapore finds the first round, though, quickly answered back. Pawn with the Tech 9 is able to take one down, but maybe can he convert it into more? It's going to be the big question. As on the side, Darky, he holds his ground. He gets another one. He brings out the Deagle in the hand as the support from Clyde is there. Sends out a frag to flush the player out, and we move to overtime. Rushby and Fired Up Gaming are not ending things in just 24 rounds. We will see at least 5 more. My oh my. What a way to bring things out in this scenario, ladies and gentlemen. But to be honest, this is the best beginning for this semi-finals. You don't want this one to be a very quick one. You want this one to go all the way. You want OTs. You want to make sure that you get the best out of this game. And in order to do that, we'll be heading on to a very short break. And we'll be back once the overtime begins. I really need to catch a breather this time around. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We're back in the action, people. It is the overtime Rush B and Fired Up Gaming are here to duke it out a bit more. It is 12-12 up on board, and it's the first OT right now. Rush B yet again continuing on the CT side with Darky and Singapore with their double op setup posted as well. Oh, it's a lovely cross, but Singapore still lands the shot. That is absolutely ridiculous. Was not supposed to happen, but it did now, and Clyde follows up on it. Pushes all the way out. Prime is going to be taken care of. That was a bit of a mistake out there, as Clyde already got the first pick. And it's going to be Excite as well, landing the nuttiest shot out there. Darky, he wanted to try and get a bit of a diff out there. It just did not happen. At an instant, we're down to a 3v3. Antivirus tries to go in for the peak, but Pay is able to take him down, Pawn. It's a picture-perfect round. As the Nade and Element X will find the last two, and on the back of it, the first round in the OT being won by Fired Up Gaming. Seems like what a long streak of round losses, and after that, they have finally won something on the T side. But they now need to do a bit more. Molly being sent out. There is no smoke being put up in the sniper's nest out there. They want to try and chip down the player who's playing with the AWP out there, posted up. Still a couple of players walking through the smoke. That is a mistake. And Prime punishes that. And make it two, as well as Clyde on the back of his own team. Smoke is able to get one. And he doubles up as well behind that. It's only Champ and Excite remaining now to try and do some heroics. Try and pull some individual nasty plays. Will they be able to do so? It's all 5 players, super healthy. You need 5 crazy headshots. Maybe just like this. Maybe that's a beginning. Or you can try and go for the wall banks. Wanted to flush out if any player is playing up close now. Flash is going to go all the way back. Clyde trying to set things up. Singapore down to just 40 HP. But it's all a fake. Firedup Gaming are going to go all the way towards the B side with the apartments, maybe? No, they decided to move all the way up in mid, and they are not ready for antivirus. Neither for Clyde itself. As Champ gets one, but nothing apart from that. A good trade coming in, and Rush B equalize the scoreline instantly. They don't waste a lot of time out there. Bit of a widespread play this time for Fired Up Gaming. Sending one towards mid, one towards the apartments to stop any push. This fight's going to be crucial by Pawn. If he can maintain control of mid though, there's a lot of question marks up in front of him. Element X on the other side. Going to be moving back as well. A boosted angle for Clyde. And his life is going to be stolen out from there. Pawn is able to get one. A lot of open avenues, a lot of open angles, and absolutely no support. But guess what? No one's actually pushing onto him. No one wants to take him down. And antivirus now, his position should be noted. Spawn should have a very good idea of where he is, and it's a wide peak though. Antivirus, with that small jiggle, realized where Pawn was. Was able to readjust perfectly, just like Singapore on this off. This time the case been taken down through the nasty shots out there. The Molly eventually flush him out though. Will be burning alive. Singapore out in the open, but antivirus there with the support. He's there with Prime to stand strong and Rush B. Will claim lead the first 3 rounds of OT. Sides swapped. Rushby are now going to go in for the attack. It is going to be crucial for both of these teams. 13-14. That's the scoreline. Rushby, all they need to do is win 2 more rounds, and Clyde will do exactly that. The Element X is able to answer quickly, and the flash did not do anything to him, but Darky with that off. That shot was a must land for his team. Had he missed that, the advantage would have gone for the other side. And Firedup Gaming are now forced to play very passive. They're not taking any map space. They're not taking any map control. Just holding it down, waiting to react. And if this happens, Rushby will have the advantage. Darky is also slowly getting posted up on the angle. And he sees the top of the helmet and puts Excite out of his misery. That is a big opener because side is now open for business. The smoke's already out there. And Champ is trying to go in the connector. Clyde is just ready. Darky, what an opener from this guy. And he gets the last one as well. Pawn almost bringing it to a 1v2. But alas, that's not happening. One more round needed. And they get it. That's a question which will be answered few seconds, people, as it's going to be a small tech issue. We'll be fixing that quickly. Don't worry about that. It's going to be a rollback, but it's absolutely fine. We're going to have to hold it down, people. Maybe it's going to be a small issue out there. We'll be fixing that very quickly. So please hold your horses as we'll be hopping onto a very short break. We'll be right back. We're back again, people. Just like that. Had to roll back the round out there, but it's absolutely fine now. Darky found a perfect opener, and that too onto the case. This time Singapore as well. On the other end, takes down Pawn, who went out for the exploration out here in Palace. And Clyde's gonna burn alive. Element X out there. Champ seems to be in a precarious spot. It's gonna be difficult for the man. It's down to the last 1v1 people, rather 1v3. Champ, the only one who can make it do for his team to keep the dream alive. The first map is not going anywhere out of the hands of Rush B as they close it out with a 16-13 overtime. That's ridiculous game coming in way too close, but guess what, people? That's only the first map. We still have two more potential maps remaining. You don't want to go anywhere, as we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. You're watching the Conquest. It's the second semi-finals. Rush P, Fired Up Gaming. And it's a chance or it's a fight for survival. First map was already stolen away by Rush P. It's a Fired Up Gaming right now. Are fired up on all cylinders to try and take this one away, as well as Rush P on the CT side will win the pistol. All the fights being taken and all the fights being won on this map of Ancient. So I'm going to put everything behind now and focus on just this one map. A chance to qualify for the grand finals and face QU. Few hours later, while Fired Up Gaming are going to try and force a map 3. Rush B want to try and push down their advantage. Individual fights is what they are taking, but Prime is winning the first one. It's able to shut down and also mow down every single one of them. A bit of a wide angle out there. A pistol shot. Just one more needed to land, but it's Prime who's on for an ace. They're searching the last one for him. It's going to be Antivirus though who steals the last. So it's not an ace for him, but I believe he don't care about that. Big confidence booster. And a rocket start coming in for Rush B. Fired Up Gaming are now going to have rifles on board, so this is going to be crucial for them. And in the last round, it was a clear-cut mid-walkout. Absolutely no care of any kind of util because it was not really thrown. And now, Nikkei, he wanted to move out, but the mow down is impeccable. Gets another as well as it's down to last one. Not really sure if that's exactly where he wanted to go, but this round seems to be done. Antivirus has got no clue what hit him. And just a simple walkout of Nikkei through the smoke was exactly what they needed. Mind-blowing. And that is such very solid. Round converted for Fired Up Gaming, losing only Excite throughout the mix. So the economy is going to look very healthy for them. Good bunch of utility as well. 5 smokes, 5 mollies, 7 flashes. Just a few frags. 3 to be specific. Big investment. That clearly shows you they're ready to take this fight. And again, a full-fledged push down. Nikkei is ready with the flash along with Pawn. Gets another pick. A big fight being won. Prime on an off angle catches one, but not quite sure if he's going to survive the onslaught that's coming towards him. Has to leave Donut. But look at the position. Singapore pushes out. Reaper's been taken out, and Prime though will be able to find one more. It's all down to Champ. Brings out the weapon. Has to go for a safe plant. Can't really do anything else. And not the best weapon out here if you compare it against an AK. Sends out a smoke and that frag is going to dissipate all of that smoke. But Champ is just ready behind the box. It's down to the last 1v1. Singapore with just 22 HP. And Champ has got the frag which will land in. Right from downtown, a perfect shot. A thunderous play from Champ, just like the OKC. Equalizes the scoreline 2-2. And also breaks the economy of Rush B this time. All the way down to just pistols in the hands. Just gonna rush all the way out and Antivirus finds the first one. Individual being offered, but Champ and Pawn, they're able to answer back perfectly. Not really letting them pick up any kind of weaponry. Beautiful flash. Full blinded Singapore. Could not run away. Could not hide away. And Fired Up Gaming just like that. brings the lead in their own favor. Seems like they're not done yet. But it take another fight out there. The upper. Lovely shot from Reaper. Able to take one down, but Darky on the other side. Look on those trades, both of these teams. Spawn shutting down Clyde. Clyde was one of the big reasons for Rush B's victory in the previous one. And this time around, he's been kept very quiet. Only having 2 kills out of the 6 rounds that we've played till now. Darky hanging around the donut. But it's only good for one, nothing more than that. And through the temple, antivirus will move out. It's all down to Reaper. It's not got the bomb in hand as well. That is a big problem. An off angle for antivirus, but it's been watched out for. Reaper knows every single thing. Beautiful anticipation. With that now, yet again, it's a very explosive start this time around in the lamp room, though. Fully burnt alive, Clyde. You've got to rush back, my guy. A few more utils being thrown out, but at least Clyde and Darky are still surviving. I've got the pistols and SMGs out in the hands. That means this could very well be a 5th round for Firedup Gaming. But they themselves are having a couple of SMGs into the mix with 3 ARs. Antivirus moves up close, but Reaper with the answer. A quick one at that, but he's alone out here on this side. This might actually be pretty difficult. Down to a couple of players out in front of him. Reaper! He's not going to win that one, and that's the weaponry drop. That's the weaponry given, but it does not matter. Firedup Gaming took the space on the other part of the map. And it's another big win for Pawn. Rather a small win for Pawn. Should be able to easily claim the victory as Darky just wants to try and save this AK. I'm pretty sure that he will be spotted out behind the doors. Yeah. Had to take the fight, and he does not anticipate anyone out here. And it is Enzai closing it out. 5 into a dominating start. The only 2 rounds that Rushby has managed to get till now was the pistol and the anti-eco after that. Nothing apart from that. It's going to be a few shots by Pawn. Fired up on Prime. Another big opener. This is the rifle round, by the way. Reaper is also able to obliterate antivirus as he was using the utility now, and a good flush out with that molly. Clyde was forced to leave his position, but the thing is, he's still able to support. Darky roaming around in mid. Maybe can find a timing onto Exide, but can't really move out of the red room at all. He's worried about a potential lurk play that could have made its way all the way towards the CT spawn, and he's kind of right in that read. Darky shuts down Insight with the AWP in the hand and brings it down to a 3v3. Now they're in a winnable position. Given that these positions were supposed to be held, but it's broken and opened by Reaper as he is stealing the souls away from Rush B. He's not letting them breathe. And he's standing up to his name, 10 and 4. This man is playing a different Counter-Strike. Smoke lineup did not really land in the best possible place where it was supposed to, but it's absolutely fine still. Few shots being fired back and forth by Champ. He's able to finally settle the dust out there in the open. Darky, the best weapon to take that fight out there. Prime with the SMG. His angle, what he had watched out for. He could have probably got a timing onto Firedup members. Maybe catch one Excite at least. And he absolutely will, but quickly traded in the case. It's all down to Darky now. As we mentioned, just a pistol in the hand. How much can he do with just a pistol? Maybe take down one of the players, but doesn't even really have a lot of HP down, only 15. So that could be an issue. No shenanigans whatsoever. A 7-2 domination on the T side. Fired up. They seem to be fired up this time around. So continue to play like this, we might potentially see an OT as well. Or rather a map 3, because they really seem to be taking it to that angle. SMG in the hands of Insight, and he's just doing a W gaming play, not stopping Clyde. He's going to be taking one down though, utilizing the frag on the other side, but the spam through the smoke, Nikes puts his team in a position where all they need to do is just hunt down Darky. I've already seen where he's running off to. All the way in A long. Finally going back towards the A side. Tries to take the shot, misses the first one, tries to take the second, but Reaper is just not missing a single shot. Constantly getting all of them. And now even Nikes, it's looking like a beast. This time a widespread. Rush B doing the exact same thing they did in the first 4 rounds, and eventually the result is still not as what they would expect. Almost a very solid last stand by Clyde, but doesn't matter, maybe Singapore. Great, the weaponry. And he's got the AK back in his hand. And is now wondering where Champ is. While Champ is rotating all the way towards the B side, can easily go in for the bomb plant, and it is such an open plant. You can play from anywhere. And Singapore, he's got no clue where the heck that plant was. I just went in over towards the A side for a second. And it's got no defusal kit, by the way. So every second he uses is a second wasted. Sends out the smoke to go in for the defuse. The bomb is out of the smoke. He's got no clue where the hell Champ is. And Champ is going to play very smart. Runs all the way out. Saves his own life. And it's a 9-2 beginning. With 1 round to play in the half. fast adjustment this time around. But does it matter? It absolutely does not. A more down in the lamp. And this time around, though, finally, there's a good answer. Darky is also able to find a big successful pick. Now, on the back of it, there is a possibility to convert it into a 9-3. Hold on. Pawn! Caught sleeping out in the mid. Attention not towards the screen, probably a map moment, unfortunately for him. It gets blown apart. It's all down to a 1v3 maybe, champ to try and pull this to a 10-2, but Rush B are looking in prime position. And if it's a 3-9, they can get a pistol in the next round, get the anti-eco after that, and maybe go for a snowball. The pistol becomes very crucial either ways. And Darky will make sure at least his team has got that chance. Now, half changes and the pistol becomes one of the most important rounds that Rushby has probably played out in this entire tournament. Maybe steal this one round and then set themselves up for a snowball, for potential try and pick things up, and on the back of it, all of them pushing outside of the cave. Bit of a spam down there from the case, but not really catching anything. On the backside though, that's where the main fight is. And a full run and gun. Champ and the case almost able to shut all of them down, but finally it's being brought down to dead even. But not for long, as it's down to a 1v2 and the dual Berettas are just enough. Beautifully finishing all of them down, and maybe with this, the hopes of Rush B to close the series 2-0. That's a 10-3 and double digits hit. It's going to be a tactical pause finally being called by Rush B. It took a long time to bring it to this scenario. It's going to be the discussion is my question. They did get the bomb down, so they will force the buy. They have to force the buy. There is no other option for them. With a couple of SMGs in the mix, maybe they can try and go for a very fast hit. Basic amount of util. Nothing that they could technically use to fake any place out. Maybe just a molly as well. Try and control one part of the map. They send out a couple of smokes out in mid though, but it's a mode out. It's an absolute disaster this time for Firedup Gaming. Rush B get two big openers thanks to antivirus. Can also pick up one rifle. Up in the mix, maybe no. There was a big answer on the other side by Reaper, who is eventually reaped himself. And a good idea in the meantime by Rushby to quickly take the space towards the A site and now put themselves in a position where they're both playing separate. Don't really like this setup, but still it's going to be a save for Fired Up Gaming. They are not going in for this retake. They've got one defusal kit, but don't really want to risk it. They would want to carry out these weaponries to the next round while the rest of the players can maybe accumulate a few scraps. A very big win by Rush B. It was looking bleak for them. It was looking dire. And they have to navigate through these treacherous ruins of ancient to maybe ruin the party of Fired Up Gaming for a map 3. The question is for how long will they be able to do it? A couple of rifles, as an SNM, an SMG, and a couple of pistols on board, though Rushby quickly deciding to go rush towards the A side, take that space in an instant. Still see a couple of players out and through the mollies, flames. Vaughn was able to burn one of them alive on the other side though, but it's still a very fast take. 3 players, all tagged up, all bruised up. 40, 40, and 32. But the unfortunate scenario for Reaper is that he does not have any weapon to play around with. He's nowhere near to pick one up. Sends out a smoke as well to maybe survive. The spray down from antivirus is just enough. Ten to 5 now, another possibility. Falling into the feet now to try and break the setup a bit. 4 pistols up in the mix along with one Eagle, but it is not doing a damn thing. It is an absolute mow down. It's an absolute wipeout. Rush B now finally getting their momentum back on track, winning 3 straight rounds after that timeout. And I believe they've discussed something in that timeout. Whatever it was, seems to be working for them. Maybe they've decided to finally not give as much respect to Firedup Gaming as they were giving right now. Again to mid. The fight being taken. The fight being won by Darky. Destroying the mid push out from Firedup Gaming. Rashbi are answering back fast, pretty quick through the couple of layers of smoke. Still able to chip down the HP of Nikes and Reaper. Look at the positioning of Nikes. Champ randomly just decides to push all the way up in heaven and maybe take a couple of players down. Darky answers back on the other end. We've still got one more player to worry about all the way out in mid, and that's not helping Fired Up Gaming. A couple of players remaining in a 2v4. Make a 2v3 now with a possible upgrade, but now it's going to be all lost, done and dusted. Should be a safe call already down to a 1v2, and it ain't happening. No defusal kit out in the hands either. It's a 7-10 scoreline, and the economy broken yet again. It very well could be an 8-10. Phenomenal round. It's one AK in the hands of Zigzite. How much can he do is the question. To be honest, I kind of wanted Reaper or Nikes to use that. They were the ones who are having so much success. Zigzite is still on the struggling end. Apart from Pawn, the only other player to have that negative KDA. It's not really having the best possible day on Ascent right now, at least. They're able to quickly anticipate this push out in mid. Mow down the members of Rush B. Maybe this one rifle can actually do the magic, can actually do the wonders. Lovely shot from Champ. Maybe he can try and control that pace a bit. Maybe he can rendezvous with his teammates and then play the numbers advantage, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Spawn, it's gonna move up in front. And Singapore's been taken down. It's all down to a 1v3. And all weapons now in the hands and the position noted. Donut is looking like a last snack for antivirus. 30 seconds remaining and the bomb not in hand. Rush B, after those series of rounds, they were able to collect. And now crumbled again, fired up gaming. A lovely anticipation this time. They did not push out like the previous round, just did a very minute adjustment. They held their angles in mid and waited for the re-clearance of Rush B. Once they heard those utils, they picked up a perfect timing behind that and then took out the rest of the players. At 11-7. Another Molly. Oh, with a couple of frags as well being sent out to try and hold down that space. And this time, look at Spawn. He wants to push out even further. Firedup giving still wants to take the fight, but Prime is able to answer back on the other side, and that's another pick by Singapore. Reaper's out of the mix as well. Trying to repeat what they did in round 17, and seems like the result is going to repeat as well. No chance whatsoever. Taki with the AWP finding a big pick. On to Excite. This seems to be going out of hand way too quickly. Fired Up Gaming. Yeah, they're not getting this one. Holy smoke! Spawn got owned there by Darky. Insane mechanics. Already slam dunks that bullet into his dome. 11-8 now, just 3-round difference between these two teams. So that does mean it's going to be a bit more difficult. A couple of extra mollies being used up to make sure they flush out the player up in that cubby. And I like the decision making from Rushby. They've anticipated Fired Up Gaming's mid push and playing against that though, but Singapore 5-12. This guy is struggling so much on this map. Champ was shut down, but Nikkei still holds his ground on site. Anticipates that lurk play. And oh my goodness, Reaper, he's probably had the best timing in the whole damn world. Can probably catch at least one if he checks his corner. And he does. Similar takedown antivirus. It's about time, but he's got no weapon in hand. What was he doing? A big blunder. Rek'Sai is there to try and maybe pull things through a 2v1. No defusal kit and Darky with the AWP. He knows what he needs to do. It's an angle being held versus an angle being pushed. Rek'Sai lands in a nasty shot, but it does not matter. It still is going to go for Rush B. No defuse kit in the hand for the guy. And it's 9-11. People seems like we might be on for another OT if things continue in this manner. The opener for the team this time. After a very long time, we have seen Fired Up Gaming finally taken advantage. Otherwise, they were on the receiving end, they were on the beating end. Up close and personal, not the prettiest fight. It's a scrappy one, but Nikkei still wins it. A big mistake for Prime. Hide. Will take one though, but Singapore, his patience. It's not enough because Exide was there as well. And individually, they pick off all the members of Rush B. Catching another one, Clyde. He's got an opportunity. He knows the position of one, but he does not anticipate the second one. And that's where Exide strikes from. Two players, two bullets, both shot in the back of the head. And we are again at the same 12-9, people. Can Rushby do it second time in a row? We saw them in the exact same place in previous map of Mirage. When they were on the T side. And they were struggling. This time as well, it seems to be the exact same case. So maybe they can surprise us one more time. Oh, reload is hurt. Reload is hurt. And the shots are taken. Antivirus with the opener. Reaper with a major plunder. Caught by the timing now, and everyone is jumping and re-smoke the ramp, but the dark spot is where Aki strikes from. A bit of a wide peak out there. Not in the perfect unison. Not in the perfect unison. Pawn holds his ground on side. It's able to shut all of them down. Inside, can he anticipate? Absolutely not. It's Clyde with the surprise. It's down to a 1v2 yet again. Go towards the other part of the map. But it's going to be held down by Clyde. So Time is the man who's low in the HP. He's got to reposition, but he's repositioning towards A long. Clyde is... Ralphon is going in from the donut. It's technically a crossfire setup, but it still could be broken. The 1v1s could be taken. Bond does not have the defusal kit. And it's got so many avenues that he needs to clear. Yeah, he does not anticipate anyone. He knows one is in temple, but that's all he knows. But even after that, he's not going to get anything. As it's Clyde with the shot through the dome. Hits another one on the head. And it's 12-10. What a time to call a timeout. Just when the momentum seemed to be going in favor of Rush B. That's when you pull the timeout. Maybe discuss a few things as to what Firedup can adapt to. What can they do to not repeat the same things that they did in the previous map? By the virtue of which they are trailing in this series. Going to be a big question mark. And I have to say, their anticipation of the mid push worked out perfectly in one of the rounds. I just have got no clue as to why they're not trying to go for the same thing when it worked. Maybe they're just overthinking a little bit more, which should not really be the case by Fired Up Gaming because they, again, are the ones who are in the lead. They're the ones who are on the comfortable position. And look again, it seems like they kind of want to go for a semi-force buy. They will have enough for the full buy in the next round, barring Reaper. He's the only one who will not have anything. Absolutely zero in the bank account. Relatable. 4AK is up on board on the other side. Just hold it down. Don't worry, people. We're fixing this issue very quickly. But in the meantime, I'm here to help you out for this podcast a little bit longer. As again, it's the same scenario, just like the previous match. I'm pretty sure Singapore can probably pick up a nade or two and drop it for Prime. Got the issue sorted out. We're jumping back again in. Ton of Util now out in the hands fired up gaming. With 3 SMGs in the mix. One rifle and one deagle. And this deagle do absolutely impeccable things. That Flash is doing that. Champ just rushes out of the lab. Gets two through the dome. Shuts them both down. A set play. And a pretty amazing one at that. What a time to bring it out though. But it seems like there are going to be some problems out here. It's going to be one pick already, Pawn. Catching Prime down. It's all down to antivirus now. And high, low HP 2v4 into making. Lamps being explode. But it's the head of Clyde that explodes. 1v4. 10 HP. And it seems inevitable that we will move on to Dust 2. The decider of this series is Antivirus. Cannot stand any longer. And he will eventually fall. What a game, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the semi-finals. We're on for a series. And it has basically gone down to the last one map, which will be on after this very short break. Don't go anywhere. All right, people. Now that we are down to this last map of Dust 2, we will see who makes it to the grand finals and face QU in just an hour or so now. Totally depending upon how long this map is going to go as Firedup Gaming start on the T side, Rush B on the CT side. The series is 1-1. And to click things off, it's Clyde with the dual Berettas catching one, make it double as well because it's a fully blinded shot from Six Path, who's back into the roster as well, and he is back with style. As soon as he hops in the server, he gets a couple of his own with Clyde 2-2. And a beginning which you would not really expect if you are a fired up fan, because they are now down in the weaponries as well. That's a very solid pistol conversion. And this pistol is very necessary for Rush Play because on the back of it, they will be able to start their snowball effect. But we have seen multiple times in this series, the team who gets the pistol loses the follow-up round. Now that should not be the case this time when Fired Up. All do they have are Glocks and they are on the T side. That's the big thing. They can group up. They strengthen numbers. There's a double setup over towards short. Three players walking it down. Pawn, rather four. All of them have to move in quickly, but it does not matter. It's a mow down of all the five players. And Prime is able to readjust his aim perfectly. It's a very convincing round win for Rush P. And it's going to boost the confidence of Antivirus and Clyde so much more. What a coordination from them. Perfect anticipation. Out there down on the floor is where the bomb is, so they've not really decided to commit to any single place as Darky. He just says them that the lower tunnels are uncontested, but Excite wants to re-clear that space, but the wide peak from Clyde and the weaponry upgrade from the man, he is popping heads and has decided not to stop. It's going 7-0 in the start. Not a single kill till now by Fired Up Gaming. What is happening in this map? Rushby have just decided to, I don't know, man, pray to their gods and they have descended. It is an absolute dream beginning. A 1v5 in the making. Starkey to fall for the first one. The streak has now been broken of immortality. But in terms of rounds, absolutely nothing, nada. Impeccable performance coming in. And if they continue in this exact same flow, I'm pretty sure Fired Up Gaming are going to lose their fire. But they've got to ignite their flames right now. They have to make sure that the small house fire turns into a wildfire to stop this tornado of Rush B. Smoke being sent out all the way towards long while the Darkies op is going to hold that angle. It's going to be watching in shot. Three people being sent out to try and now re-clear the space again. Shot control is absolutely crucial for this entire map. And right now, Fired Up Gaming are now playing so far back, people. They are respecting Rush B so damn much. I am not quite sure if that will work out for them, but their rendezvous over towards the B might actually. It's gonna all fall down to Clyde. The immortal god. 7-0. Can he stand for long? Can he do some damage? He absolutely tried. Stressed out a lot in the case though. And the fight has broken out in mid. Time is able to win one. Clyde finally falls as the back and forth fight go. Excite makes it two. Able to cut off the rotations as well and try and buy some crucial time, crucial seconds for his team. But the op is pretty solid. Onto the face. It's gonna be a flash, but the person himself gets flashed. Pawn! It's got the chance, but absolutely no time. Because Darky saves himself. And that play is so sublime. What a game. It's a 4-0. Fired up. All the way down to the Tech 9s and a Glock. In mid yet again the fight. It's gonna be a couple of shots being taken. Clyde yet again wins it all out. Element X, the only man with any success, but not for long. Rush B, 5-0. With every single round, they move one step closer to the grand finals. The gravity is just increasing. And it doesn't seem like Fired Up are playing on Earth right here. It seems they're playing on Jupiter. They can't seem to stand on their feet, and that's how high the pressure is on them. But you can either crumble, or you can try and brute force your way like Vegeta. Stand in that gravity chamber, but it seems that the bones of Excite are not that solid. That Molly absolutely did not go where it was supposed to. It's okay. I saw that champ. But this just means that there's so much more pressure onto him. He's now forced to make some hero play. And Nikkei is the first one to open things up finally. Getting the first pick. It's only Pawn. He's got 3 picks out of all the others that his team has got. Finally shutting down Six Path, who was chicken peeking out there through the double doors. An off angle, but all it has done is caused some distractions. Smoke's gonna go down now. Lucky shot being fired by Clyde, but did not catch anything. It's gonna try and recheck all the angles while the rest of the team are gonna go in for the retake. A 4v4 scenario. AWP not the perfect weapon for retaking the side, but Nikkei has got an absolute beauty to try and stop any kind of push. Antivirus angle's been watched out for. Element gets the first one. Nikkei lands in the nasty onto Prime, and he's stopping every single one of them. It's all down to the last one player. Few shots out in a haywire, and Fired Up Gaming finally get the first round on board, and very convincingly as well. And it was the opener by Excite onto Six Path that created that opening. It was the fight in mid, and that Rashmi has realized. So they pushed it out yet again over towards the upper, and it's Prime. Find out not just one, but rather two. Nikkei has been taken down to the skull, blown to smithereens. Since so much presence was shown over towards mid and the tunnels, that means B Rather, A side is entirely free. B, not up for business. But even towards the A, you don't really have a lot to work around with. Through the smoke now is where Element want to survive. It's just down to 4 HP. And my man, can he fulfill a dream? Seems like he probably could, but no! He stands out in the open prime. Finds a perfect timing onto him. Backstab so very quick. And with that, another round on board. In the first 7 rounds, 6 of them have gone for Rush B. So they have at least made sure that they will end this half on a draw if everything goes south. That's the thing, if everything goes south. This has only looked to go for Fired Up Gaming till now. Small technical issue out here. But for rollback, but gives us a few seconds to talk about. Are they going to be moving in forward with it? It's been a few things that's going to be fixed, people. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. We are fixing that. You've got me to support you in that podcast. This entire map is defined by who controls the mid, and that is what Rush B are also trying to do, rather. It's a Fired Up Gaming. Normally, the T sides are the ones who decide the pace of the game. But it just seems that it's Fired Up Gaming or the CT who have taken control. Rush B is making sure that they don't give Fired Up Gaming a single chance to control. Yet again, we're going to see a fight that's going to break out. Oh my goodness, Spawn! Absolutely nasty shot on Prime. Demolishes him, disrespects, and destroys. Now by the time you've got your offer on that line, Darky has got nothing to deal with. It's absolutely empty. Even the mid control has now been taken. The short space could be forced up by Rush B. Lovely shot by Darky. He controls that part of the map. The question is for how much longer? And it seems like pretty long. Shuts down another one. Inside on the other end. Eventually he's able to find a trade though, but down to a 2v3. Darky's low in HP, but again, he is using the AWP. That's the thing. If he's using the AWP, that means he can still take those fights. He can still take that one shot, but Clyde, the lurk is insane. On the back of it, it's all down to Pawn. It's got three people in front of him, and all he can do is take down one. Rush B have got 7 rounds on CT. So they're going to make sure that they are ending on the positive side of this half. This just looks like a one-sided affair. Rush B just looking to destroy everyone. Bit of a wide peek out there, full-fledged though, but still not perfect. It's not pretty at all. Darky almost able to take the second one down too, and a flash by Element. Tex trying to dodge it, but it's undodgeable. It's unwinnable. Frag being thrown out, HP being drained out. And it's Spawn and Excite. Guess what? Excite has always been trying to find some openings in the mid. This time he's got one, and this time He still lands in a nasty hit, bringing it down to a 2v2. But look at the position of Clyde. That is crucial. That is the key. If he's able to cut down the rotation of pawn in between, he's going to get not just a pawn down and his team in advantage, but rather the bomb down itself. But Excite is there for the support, and this guy is doing everything for his team. From the moment he started to find those lurk timings, he's been utterly destroying the other side. Molly goes out. You've seen it. He's been burnt alive, and he's gonna be fleeted as well. Pawn did not even go for the peak. Just sends him out of the round. What a way to grab this one. And it's all on the shoulders of Excite starting it and Pawn finishing it. Finally, Rush, we realize that the mid has been left open multiple times. They still have the AWP, but not a lot of weaponries out there. It's a mid walkout, and Pawn expects that. And a spade start as well. Sends out a util, but the timing picture perfect. By Clyde Darky as well. They're trying to take that fight, and now Nikes wants to take it to them. Limitek's taken down by the AWP, and Darky follows up on the back of it. And in a round where the economy was broken, they still come out on top. By walking out mid, denying that space, and Darky's AWP all the way towards long. You can't break that setup without proper utilities. And if there are no proper flashes to push the opper back, it's going to be just taking those fights one after the other. Dry peaks after dry peaks, and that's a big problem. What a nasty headshot angle! Sight is now just struggling. Which for over eagerness from Clyde was not necessary. He's been taken down. Element X. So to get one. It's the op and a shoulder and a body being blown apart. It's back and forth fight a bit now. Champ is down in a 1v2 scenario. It's got a bit of an opening out there. Bomb in the hands. So possibility to maybe pick this one round up. Sends out a smoke. Plays out one space and the reload. Quick. Crucial. Important. 30 in the mag. But just 2 needed to land a couple of hit shots. Long range fight. That's an SMG. Followed up with a rifle in the hand. Clyde. Now that's the first one to fall. It's Darky. Down to the last 1v1. 19 HP. A hope. A dream. Which is going to remain a dream. But Champ. Make sure his team survives. For at least one more round. B03. Aggressive setup again by Rush B, quickly taking the space over towards the upper and lower tunnels. Don't really have a lot of solid economy. Prime with a scout in his hand. That's about it. Oh my god, players out in the open, left alone, left tattered. 4 of them out here, but the case knows every single one of them, swaps the weaponry as well. Try and survive. And this guy is absolutely winning it for his team as Excite now finally hops in as well to the action. It's all down to 6 path. And the player is just not warmed up enough. It's an 8-4 half. And it was down 5-0. Crucial last few round wins to give them a fighting chance. Give them some hope. pistol becomes crucial. And look at the setup. Every single one towards the A side, and it's all alone for Champ towards the B. Alone he falls. And what a nasty off position. But it's been watched out for. Right, still takes the fight and still wins it out with antivirus. Already got 8 rounds on board. Maybe with this pistol, they can increase that lead even further, and they absolutely will. This pistol was necessary for the side of Firedup Gaming. However, it's been stolen away. It's Rush B. Another few shots now being fired up. Yet again, Clyde able to get one, makes it two as well. He's just obliterating everyone over towards A long. You can keep on dropping down, but that's going to be a drop down to the dead. Darky, though, he's got something else to say. Yep, that's about it. Losing just a couple of weaponries, and out of which one of the rifles been gained back. The bonus is not going to look very pretty, though, and it seems Rush B don't even want it to be a proper bonus. They are investing in this round. And Clyde, that investment has found one opening though, but Insight, Payne, both of them able to answer back in a lovely pincer maneuver towards the tunnels. They're able to come out on top on that trade with one man advantage. On in the mid, wanted to make it more, and he's able to do that. It's all down to Prime with just 4 HP. The op out of the question. 1v2 into the making. It's out a long flash though, but it does not matter. And Zaid's eyes are absolutely fixed on target. Firedup Gaming after losing 2 rounds in a row. Now back into this fight. How long can this stand is the question. Ashby sending extra bodies over towards the A-long. Bond finds an opener towards the B side and controls the tunnels. That's a big part of map that they control now. Firedup need to play discipline now. They don't need to push out. All they need to do is hold. Holding is what they do. It's already a smoke out in front. Player being pushing up. Champ, lovely with that support. So to help out his team now. There's another player out in the open. Not a lot of HP, but still Darky and Six Path. Doubling it all the way up though. Champ still holding his position all the way from backside. Brings it down to a 1v3. And they exactly know where Darky is. And the crosshair is picture perfect. A big conversion onto this buy round. Because now the economy is broken down to the pistols. And the loss bonus for Firedup also has reset. That makes this round one of the most crucial rounds, because if Rush B wins it, it's pretty sure they're going in towards 12th as well, because the economy on the other side is not going to look pretty. But with that opener right on the dome, it's Firedup Gaming that look pretty solid though. Darky, he's got something else to say. The exploration attempt was there. In the case, Sends six spots back. Seems like he himself is Madara Uchiha. Lovely shot, Pawn. Shutting down any possibility of antivirus. Bringing in his own shenanigans. But these two players are the ones that you've got to deal with. These unstoppable machines, 19 and 8, 19 and 10. Darky and Clyde, respectively. This is the reason why they're so deadly. Clyde baits out of it. Darky hits the shot. Smoke's gonna go down, and on the back of it, the plant is gonna come in as well. It's a bit of an open plant to play from short. They want to try and take that space. Hold it down, a few shots being fired. Clyde just drops down to his death. And as soon as that happens, the case is able to punish Stark as well. The read was kind of right, but not perfect as Fired Up Gaming. And now moving in to the touching distance. Seven to 10. Full mid control this time by Rush B. Even towards the lower tunnels, and now moving all the way towards the spawn to the CTs. Champ. It's in an off angle. Expects some kind of push out from the double doors and re-smokes that area as well. So he's maintained full control of that. And on the back of it, the rest of the players can stack up other parts of the map. But they do not anticipate this much. Push out, in front, excite, support, absolutely not there. Smoke, picture perfect, and Prime is holding. Hold on, he missed out onto that timing. He's able to catch one though, but he still has a couple of players now in front of him, which he needs to survive from. But they all are pincered out in the open, up over the top. On still lands the shot, and it's antivirus on the side. And he's gonna make sure that Fired Up are moving no closer. Not 1 inch of space given. But a mile of distance being made. Small jump peak this time to check things out. Ridiculous splash coming in. Line of smoke's gonna go back in. That's a beautiful smoke. Cuts everything off, and that too perfectly. No gaps left whatsoever. Molotov's gonna go in to push any player who's playing all the way towards that part back as well. And it's gonna burn alive Nikes and Champ. It's down to a 3v5. And it seems almost impossible into making. 2v4 down, out, in the open, battered, reload through the smoke light, still shuts him down, and it's all down to inside as he falls. And it's Clyde with a bullet to the dome. And for the first time, it's Rush B who finally have an advantage in the first 24 rounds. In both the previous maps, it was Rush B who were trailing behind. But it's the first time when they're finally ahead, and the economy is broken on the other side. It's not looking pretty. And they can't even go exploring at any place. The entire map has been stolen away from them. Apart from the double doors, that space has been given and towards shot back on that flash. The case wanted to go for a flash peak, but now it's going to be reposition, readjustment, and every single space now being taken systematically. Antivirus is overwhelmed by the sheer numbers, and Prime cannot stand any longer. What a beautiful reclearance from Fired Up Gaming. Can you believe that? They've been struggling in the past few rounds like anything, but this time they were finally able to get things done in the perfect order. That's when they decided to take control, systematically clearing out the map space. This falls back onto the A-long yet again. Oh, a bit of a... Right out there, there's Hawk being thrown out. Molotov towards shot and a flash all the way from the B side to try and stop anyone from pushing. They've left mid entirely open, but I like what Fired Up Gaming are doing. They've controlled entirety of the A-long. Yes, the big problem about this setup is that they cannot provide fast support if Rush B decide to go B. But they haven't really decided to go B most of the times. They group up in mid, and the last time this happened, they pushed up spawn. They won most of the fights because it was unanticipated by Fired Up. But this time, they know exactly what's happening. Molotov's going to deny that space to them. Retaken. Element X. Fight. Brought to him. Fight. Won by him. But look at the lurk play right now. Hyde is all the way far up on side. And he's going to get the head of Excite. Blown to smithereens. And the shot is open. Now take all of that space away. 4v4 into the making now. An AK in the hands too. To be specific. They want to fight shot. It's going to be a bloodbath out here. PK's 1-for-1. 6 paths with that take 9. Good for 1. Clyde repeats it, but it's not enough. Darky has the AWP in his hands. Both the players with the defusal kit can stick whenever they want to. They know where the Darky is as he's good for 1, but it's Spawn. Win it out and save the round. Impeccable performance under pressure. And with that, Rashbi have decided to take a timeout. They do not want to commit the same mistakes that Fired Up Gaming did back in map 1, so they had 5 chances to close it, people. Those 5 chances have been reduced to just 3. Just 3 more rounds. And maybe we move to another OT. Or just 1 more round. And maybe Rushby are then going to get ready to face QU. One of the most anticipated matchup out there. But Fired Up Gaming have been looking deadly. And we are seeing the reasons for that. It's in the mid. Hit again. Full control. Flash used up. Now you see all the players crossing. And Champ is sending them back. Tech 9s on that range are not even going to tickle. And the rest of the players are just going to make sure they put salt on top of your wounds. Up close and personal, but Paul is just ready for it. Those 3 chances have now been reduced to just 2. And this is the full buy round. If this round is won by Fired Up Gaming, then we will almost certainly see an OT. But if Rushby are able to close it out, then they will move into the grand finals.
This is the most crucial round of this entire series, people. And it seems as of now the control is in the hands of Firedup, but maybe not for long. Reposition is being called for by Nikes. He can't take on any more bullets than he already has received. Bond playing anti-flash, but he's still ready. He's been checked. Clyde is sending him back, and Elementex wins out. Probably one of the most crucial duels in this entire half. And what a flash from Champ Excite! Makes a play of his lifetime. Dockie's there for the assistance. He's trying to do the damage control out there, but for how long can he do that? Still tries to land another one, but no opportunity to go for anything on this part of the map. Wants to quickly run away. Wants to jump out of the harm's way. Reposition. Maybe get the B. But what a lovely internal clock timing. Elementex and Nikes split up. Nikes should be hearing every single thing. He should have the answer. The call has been made. But look at that. Look at the idea. Darky anticipates all of that, and that was just a fake presence. He's now going to move all the way towards the B. His side yet again. Right from under. Right from here. There's Elementex! And he will win the fight. He's not letting his team fall just yet. Darky almost pulled it off for his team. But now they've got to make do with just some SMGs. And one rifle. Hero rifle. Some basic utilities. Extra flashes out in the hands, 3 to be specific. Couple of frag grenades. Couple of smokes and a molly. And it seems like they're standing up to their name. Seems like they're gonna rush down B. And it seems they're gonna face a heavy retaliation. But not fun, but rather two. And the angles are watched out for as the case is impeccable. Gets both one with the no scope and then with the Tech 9. And push Firedup Gaming to an overtime. 5 consecutive rounds when they were down 12-7. To have the tenacity and the strength to control the nerves. Firedup Gaming are not out of it yet. But they're still starting on the same side of the map. On the CT. On where they were struggling in the past few rounds. No pistols right now to try and surprise anyone. It's going to be full buys after full buys. Double op setup already in the starting. An opening found, but not with the op. Was Prime with the rifle and Zite on the other side. Along with Nikes, is able to find a few picks of his own. Darky on that boost-up angle. He's able to shut Nikes down, so brings it down to a 2v3. But there's still an op in the hands of Six Path. It's a bit of a struggling end though, but not Darky. Darky's been hitting some shots, and Six Path this time will equalize the numbers in this round. Just trying to make sure that they see every single angle, every single avenue. And then move forward again. The cross has been made. The bomb's going to go down. Hold on a second. A nasty molly being thrown out to try and delay the plant for a second further. As inside now picks up the rifle. Goes in all the way out. Would I swear to God, would I love to get the op here, but it seems like he does not care. Towards the car is where Darky stands, and towards the car is where Darky falls as Champ makes a play that stands up to his name. And for the first time in the CT side, Fired Up Gaming get the lead in this map. It is not over yet for Fired Up Gaming at least. Rushby have changed their setup yet again. Or rather, both of these teams. No more double op any longer. They brought down to the single op case, holding it mid. Every other time they pushed on that part of the map, but this time, Bond, he knew that there was an opening towards the A double doors. He saw that. The read was picture perfect from Fired Up. And they see all the others on the other side, but that is a big pick. And even takes now not in this round anymore. Champ still standing, still trying to frag, but it's down to a 2v3. The op not connecting. Wants to try to land second one, but Exide. He's got something else in mind, and it's all down to Clyde. Who wins out the fight towards the tunnels. And look at the HP of Exide. It's down to 5 HP, this guy. Can you do something? Can you pull a rabbit out of the hat? Seems like absolutely not. It's going to run back to safety. It's going to save that op for the next round. Just when you thought Rush B were probably out of it, that's when they decide to pull themselves back. That's when they decide to pull their socks up. One who wins one more round here. Need to win the next two. And the other. It's going to be a technical pause being called out. We'll hold on to it for a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna try and figure out what exactly is the scenario. Both of these teams. You make sure you don't go anywhere, people. Just a small issue out here, which we'll be fixing very quickly. Yes. And with all things fixed and done, we're back again, running it into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Rush B, fired up gaming. Oh my god, there's a molly right under the feet. Sixth path. Probably did not see that with his own eyes, but Excite sees everything with the op. He's able to land one. And Darky answers back in an instant. What a lovely jiggle peak. And it's an overstay from Element X. Darky gets another piece of the pie. Time is low in that HP, so that's going to be the big thing as Pawn quickly takes his head away. That's one member out of the mix yet again. And in terms of the HP, you can see there's a big advantage for Fired Up Gaming. But still, there's the double op. Darky has swapped it up for the AK. Probably had some in the bank account to go for that. As either ways, the sides are going to be swapped after this round, so getting best out of everything. They have smoked up mid double doors. That means they are threatening for a short push. Or maybe a push towards the tunnel. But I like this diligent reclearing, though it's only in the case. He's trying to make the individual play. And individually he stands. Individually he takes two. He's got the support of Champ now as he's watching the angle too. And I'm pretty sure Darky is not going to find him. He absolutely does not. And it's Fired Up Gaming with the lead yet again. On with 26 and 17, the only positive player in his team apart from Excite. Just one up. Almost the same could be said for Rush P, but the disparity is insane out there. 29 and 19 for Clyde, 28 and 18 for Darky, and rest all of them struggling so much. But seems like Fired Up Gaming push it all the way down towards the B side. No util to be used up this time around. It's going to be one for Antivirus. It'll be taken down. Pawn with a flash. Pretty insane on that. Excite got the AWP in his hands. Sees one, but he's got Sleeping Darky. Lands a nasty one. Molly is going to be sent out. You want to play ahead of that. Still wants to try and take a bit more fight though. Down there, the floor is lava. Element X. It's not really burned, blood blown. And it's every single one fallen. The bomb will be defused easily. Six paths got the defuse kit, but it does not matter. They've got a lot of time. Go for that. Fourteen. If you want to win the map, you need to win the next two rounds, else it's going into another overtime. That means 6 more rounds up on board. And it seems like both of them have kind of got the similar idea. The frag going out all the way towards the double doors. Clyde wants to push out through his own smoke. And he's found timing maybe, but he's overstaying his welcome. Gets one, still traded quickly. Champ answering back on the other side, so actions finally settled. The dust has finally settled. Hold on, not maybe for long. I said it way too quickly as it's Pawn and Element X again firing a lot of shots. Fired Up Gaming are firing on all cylinders now. It's been going back and forth. The timeline has been back and forth, and it will stay back and forth. Another round, but this time they are on the series point. They are one round win away from the ticket to the grand finals. They are one round win away. Face the foes of QU. Can they make it happen? Pawn with that opener says yes. Fired up. Ready. Just 4 more frags away to face Their group stage pose as the only team to shut down Firedup Gaming in the group stages were QU. Got Rush B on the other side. First seeded team of their own group. And not giving up without a fight. The double up still stands. And Antivirus has got a big job to do. Smoke in the face. Tons of flashes out. Tons of util used. A lot of damage being dealt. And it's Antivirus to fall for the first one. Behind the car, it's Xpath, who's not going to stand any longer. No more Naruto to help him out there. This time the victory seems to be fired up. This time they seem to be standing strong, but Darky has something else to say. It's down to a 2v2 and it's over in the blink of an eye. Bond gets both of them and sends his team to the grand finals of the Conquest String Esports Showdown Southeast Asia. Fired Up Gaming, when they were down 7-12, when they were all the way caught in the quicksand, they were able to awaken themselves and fly higher than Rush B through that. My oh my, and now they've got the opportunity to take their revenge from the Titans QU. But that's going to be in the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen, which will happen at 8 p.m. today. 40 minutes remaining, so make sure you set those timers right, and we will be catching you in the next stream on this specific channel. So make sure you tune in at 8 p.m.